Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to 7 Minutes of Inspiration with Seven. I am glad to be alive on this morning to share my story, continue forth in the purposes and plans that have been placed over my life, to encourage those that God has placed on my heart, and to continue running this race. I am grateful to be alive on this morning. It's such a beautiful morning as the sun comes up. 7 Minutes of Inspiration with Seven was created by myself, Latasha Guy. Seven is a nickname that I have went by for many, many years. For the longest, I had a backdrop on why I utilized that name as a nickname. But as time went on, it took on a whole new meaning when I began to think about seven. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just straightening up my camera. It took on a whole new meaning. Seven is the number of completion. And so I think any work that God places inside of us, there is a completion. There are steps that you need to take to move towards your purpose. And so I am really stepping outside of the box and sharing some of those things that God has placed on my heart in regards to encouragement with family, work, community, entrepreneurship, corporate leadership, working in corporate America, surviving corporate America. And so all of those are many different topics that have been placed on my heart. Today, when I arise, I begin to think about trust. Many of us are suffering from trust issues, from the way that we've been treated, things that we've been through. Circumstances and situations can cause us to not trust much. And so that's something that I struggle with at times, because sometimes I don't trust people to get the job done of something that I've asked them to do. I may not trust them to be there for me. I may not trust them to be loyal. So there's a number of things that we may not trust, circumstances, situations, people in our lives due to things that we've previously been through. And so I would really challenge you on today to begin to reestablish your trust, to really seek an understanding of why people have been placed in your life. Usually when you have made a connection, a network with individuals and individual, there's a purpose behind it. And so never fight the purpose, because the purpose may not look like what you thought it would. Many of the relationships that I have established came after adulthood. There's an old saying that since day one, these are my day ones. Day ones will not get you to your purpose. Day ones are just that. Those are friendships, connections that you've established over the years. But there's going to be many, many connections to come in your life and bring forth purpose. I've connected with so many people over the past 4 or 5 years that have been so purposeful in helping me to get where I need to be, that I no longer just rely on the day ones. Day ones are good. You need that history with people, but you also need to make new connections. It is very important that you make new connections. I need connections for the business world. I need connections for the entrepreneurial world, especially some of the endeavors that I'm working on. It does require that I have to connect with people. So sometimes it requires that we put our pride to the side. We may have to work with people that they might not be our best friends. It's okay. They don't have to be your best friend. There's a purpose for your relationship. So focus on the purpose and don't focus on the person. And I'm sorry, y'all, it's a little warm this morning. And that's okay, because we've all been praying for this warm weather. And so, again, just to stay on point, make sure you're operating in purpose. All of your relationships that you have with people, make sure it's connected with the purpose. There's no time to waste, idle time, and just developing connections just to develop connections. Be purposeful with these connections. Don't strain the connections. A connection is a purpose for whatever God placed them in your life for. Don't try to make them your everything. They are not the source of your everything. They don't have to be your encourager, your best bud, your hanging out pal, your club partner, none of that. There's a purpose for why they're in your life. Recognize that purpose, utilize that connection, and grow. And so that's my say on trust, relationships. They say people come in your life for a reason, season, or a lifetime. Many people are in your life for a season. Recognize that season that you're in, what the purpose of that relationship is, and move forward with that. So as you travel on today, be encouraged that there are relationships that are being designed in your life that will take you to that next level. As I head into corporate America on today, yes, because it is corporate time, I have to put my adulting on to handle my affairs of corporate America. Even as you head in onto work today or wherever it is that you're headed for the morning, pray that God will give you purpose on today. Pray that he will make you a light even in the midst of darkness. That is my prayer every single day. Lord, please make me a light even in the midst of darkness. The environment in which I work in sometimes can get extremely negative, and you have to really find a way to not get drained by it or not get caught up in it. And so my prayer before I even walk through the doors of corporate America is, Lord, please allow me to be a light even in the midst of darkness, complaining, aggravation, irritation. People are going through all kinds of things. And a lot of times they take it out on those that are closest to you. And unfortunately, a lot of times it is those that they work with, because that's where you spend the most amount of time at. But when you see someone going through, begin to pray. There's something going on in their life that they need help with. And it's not personal. We have to stop taking things personal, that it's about us. It's not about us. That person's going through something. They need you. The prayer of praying that you can be a light in the midst of darkness, that means they can see something in you that will make them want to continue to run the race. That you can share your story and they will be encouraged to push a little bit further. Don't get caught up in being negative with them. Help them. Pray with them. Push them to be the best that they can be. Again, it has been a blessing to speak with you on this morning. I pray that everyone has an amazing day. I'm speaking an amazing day into my future on today. Continue to be the light in the midst of darkness. Be blessed, be purposeful, and refuse to be less than what you were called to be. Thank you.